As we say hello and welcome to the virtual Darlington Raceway here for Season 7 of the UIS Sunday Motors Truck Series here, Week 8 from the Lady in Black here from the virtual Darlington Raceway. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's broadcast here for week number 8. No Gavin Austin tonight up here in the UIS booth, but she's going to be me, myself, and I up here calling tonight's race here for week number 8 from Darlington. But obviously a lot to get into tonight. Obviously, when we talk about Darlington, we talk about the Lady in Black. We talk about one of the most difficult tracks that these drivers are going to come to on the schedule, and we have come to a couple of tracks that have bitten a lot of drivers. You know, we look in the past. We went to Coda, one of the more technical, most demanding road courses that we can go to on the service outside of maybe San Diego or Coronado, right? But which we just got here in the sim, this last week or two. Obviously, we just went there, literally yesterday for the NASCAR Cup Series. But and obviously we went to Old Atlanta last week, one of the more hard tracks when it comes to keeping the truck under you for an extended amount of time, as the tire wear is very bad here. And we come to Darlington, one of the most unique tracks that we come to on the UIS schedule. One of the most unique tracks we have here on the iRacing service, with how high the tire wear can be here, how difficult it can be just to keep the truck underneath you and keep it in one piece. But it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers come into week number 8 for here at the Lady in Black. They call it the Lady in Black for a reason, right? It's so easy to get up there and get that Darlington stripe out of 2, going into 3 and 4. If you overcook, you want to run that high side in 3 and 4. Super easy to get up there, get up into the wall, and obviously out of 2, that's where that notorious Darlington stripe usually comes from. You overdrive the exit, you overdrive entry, right? You're going to get up there, get up on the outside wall, lay some paint down, and tear up your truck. It's going to be interesting to see who can, keep the truck out of the way, who can get it done here from Darlington. But we'll go trackside to take a look at some of your fastest drivers tonight here in practice. We look at the 17. Once again, I seem like we always talk about this driver here in this number 17 machine, Trenton Wilkins. In the 17 Toyota Tundra. Always up here towards the front. He currently sits P2 in practice. We'll go up and show some of your other drivers. Obviously, we have to look at the 15 of Tyler Helms. Going to show him in the 20 tonight for some reason, but obviously we're accustomed to seeing him in the 20 in the 15 machine. But he's top of the board here in practice with that 29.436. Aaron Cobnott, he's had a couple of good runs for himself here in the first 8 weeks here in the Senate Truck Series, Senate Motors Truck Series. He's currently P3. You look back to Echeverria in the 60. He's had a definitely up and down season as well. Has shown, top 10, top 5 speed everywhere we go. Just cannot put the finishes together occasionally. You see him further back here in P4. And then Joey Beck, he showed a lot of speed last week in his debut here in Season 7 from the old configuration of the Atlanta Motor Speedway, obviously now called Echo Park Motor Speedway. But he showed a lot of speed last week from Atlanta. Unfortunately, was a little bit aggressive on that last start. Spun the tires, got used up a little bit. Unfortunately, doesn't get the finish that he probably wanted. But sitting back there in P5, we know he can be quick. And this is going to be a driver's track, right? This is the definition of a driver's track here at Darlington, where you got to keep that truck clean. It's about racing the track more than racing everybody around you, right? Granted, when we get to the end, it's going to be a little bit, it's going to be, rules reversed. But here for the first, I would say 3/5 of the race, right? You're going to have to drive the track. Do not push that truck as hard as you can, because that's how you give yourself damage. That's how you start to make mistakes. And obviously, when you make mistakes, they just, especially here at Darlington, they start to snowball, because if you get the wall, you get frustrated. You try to make up the time, and you continue to make more mistakes, right? And that's just how it, the snowball effects happens. And then sooner or later, you've got so much damage that the truck does not want to drive the way it wants to. And now you're just giving away time because you've got damage on that truck and, hoping for a caution or something. See that 77 pull down pit side here. Obviously, we'll look at your thumbnail machine. JJ Moore. He's back here rounding out your top 10 in practice for tonight. Obviously, a lot of drivers going to be running some throwback schemes, as obviously we see JJ with one of those, that homage back to this, the Gen 6 Dale Jr. Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew car. This is one of the, arguably, for a lot of people, the best Gen 6 scheme ever made, right? So, obviously, he's going to throw back to there. I know there's a couple people who are also running some throwbacks throughout the race here. I think I saw the 11 of Max Ford. He's repping a throwback Safe Flight car truck. I believe I saw the 19 of Jose Lopez also running a throwback scheme, if we can find him. Yeah, there he is in the 19. See him in that throwback kind of Toyota TRD machine. We've seen a couple of trucks run throughout, the years. I haven't really found a whole lot of others. Obviously, you can technically call Condorian and Jason Hall's Hendrick Cars schemes technically throwbacks. They're still the same schemes that they run today, but I guess you can technically call that a throwback. We'll go ahead and take a look at your points coming into tonight's race here from Darlington. I was looking to see if I was looking for a specific driver here. I do see him now in the practice charts. Is not where I expected to see him. But we come into the Prospect Series. So Tyler Helms does take the lead away from Henry Kalhoff with a 9-point lead over that 63 machine. Henry's led, I would say, the whole up until this week here in the points. And you have Kai Collingmore back in P3 solidly, in P3 about 49 points behind. And then Chase Smith 1 point behind Kai back there. And fourth, Jacob Bryant, P5. Aaron Kovnat, and then jumped up a couple spots at the P6 position. Trenton Wilkins, P7. Zachary Trevino, after, not being able to even race all the races, still back there in P8 after, winning those 3 races, right? He's only made 4 starts and has won 3 of them. Still back there, right on the cutoff there for the number 12 machine is Zachary Trevino. He's only got 1 point to Travis Prather, though, so hopefully Trevino can make it to tonight's race, or he will for sure be bumped out of the top 8 here. Coming into Darlington. I don't see him on the track, so I'm going to make a safe assumption that he probably won't make it here with 2.5 minutes left in practice, but go ahead and ride on board with some drivers. 87 to Kylan Wilson. He's up here inside the top 8. Let's ride on board and see if he can show us around tonight's track here. He's going to actually knock the ball down here. Max Ford also wrecking. Prather. He's coming across the start-finish line right now. Get him up against the wall, and then he'll drop down here. Get up. Try not to grab that outside wall. You'll see how close he get up to this outside wall here in the 1 and 2. Inches away from the outside wall. You'll see him breathe out of the throttle there, out of 2. Up against the wall. Probably could have used a little bit more of the track there. But then back here, you can either run the top. You'll see that he's going to get up on the outside wall. That's that Darlington stripe we're talking about. Get up there, and he's loose. And then it doesn't like the lap he gets out of that. He'll park it here with just over a minute left in practice. Ellie Helms back out on track. Up into the outside wall. Everybody else, I believe if it would make sense that a lot of these drivers just getting in here trying to with the last, in the last minute or two, you're going to see some drivers just continue to work on their qualifying runs potentially. I don't really see anybody trying to work on a long run here, but we'll see. But, so you're within the last 30 seconds here. We'll get ready to end out your qualifying here from Darlington, and we'll take a look at your results here in practice here before we head our way here. So we see Joey Beck actually jumps to the top there. Trenton Wilkins, Tyler Helms, Chase Smith, Aaron Kovnat, Carmelo Echeverria, Jose Lopez, Kylan Wilson, Wyatt Thompson, JJ Moore. Your top 10. At the end of practice here, you look at Jacob Bryant, Gavin Smith, Max Ford, Henry Calhoff. Expected to see Henry a little bit further up there, coming in here P2 in the point standings. Derek Turner, Carter McMillan, Kendorian Davis, Sebastian Perez, Jason Hall, Travis Prather. Look here, further on back here, further in practice. We're ready to get into qualifying here from Darlington. 5 minutes here for these drivers. They get 2 laps to set a fast lap here. And unconventionally, you would mostly see a lot of these drivers. They'll come out here and try to run a kind of out lap here, a go lap. But here, at Darlington, I feel like you're just going to want to get up and go as soon as you can. You'll see Henry Calhoff here on the track, coming out of 3 and 4. See what kind of lap time this 63 runs. Keeps out of the outside wall. Currently, Kylan Wilson, your pole sitter. See Henry back there, P2. Going to try to get something a little bit better here on this second lap. They're now currently not doing it right now, and in the red for the second lap. Slightly improves to a 514. Not enough to bump him up, though, in that 63 machine. We'll take a look further on here. And Dorian Davis out on track. He goes up to P6. Tyler Helms on his out lap. A lot of drivers who still need to set a lap time here with 2.5 minutes left. Helms across the stripe. He starts his first time lap. Oh, he's a little loose out of 2. That's a huge hit for the 20. He's going to have to try again. Kovnat, his first time lap. Ooh. I think he keeps it out of the wall there out of 4. 29.59. Good enough for P13. Looking for a little bit more here on the second lap. He's looking a lot better this lap if he can keep it going here in the turn 3 and 4. It's about 5 to 7 tenths up. It's still tracking in the green here. 29.3. Pull for Kovnat. For now, what a lap. 29.35. He's a good half a tenth quicker than P2 of Patricia Casado. Kevin Belcher in the number 34 machine. Saw him get up in a couple incidents last week. He goes to P22. Not too bad. Joey Beck, someone we're going to have to look at. You see him yawing that truck out at 4:29.32. That will be top of the board for Joey Beck. So he takes the pole sitter, the pole away from Kovnat. That's a 3 flat, actually. A really good lap for him. Tyler Holmes, 3.6. That goes to P2. Max Ford, across the stripe. So his second time lap there. That's a 36.7. That's not the lap he wants. So it's going to be all for nothing here on the second lap. You see him run the middle there. I don't know if the truck just didn't want to plant for him or if he just was indecisive of what lane he wanted to run there. Regardless, that's not probably, yeah, there it is, 29.15. That's P2. Not enough to knock off the 77. Qualifying is done here. So it's going to be the 77 of Joey Beck. Takes the pole. Max Ford going to be your front row here tonight. We'll wait on all these drivers getting their trucks. You see that throwback machine in 19 of Jose Lopez. Nice looking car. You see that Hardee's machine right in front as well. And that Ford F-150. I believe that's the 21 of Silas Goodman. Everybody getting out on track. You see another throwback machine, the 14. Sebastian Perez. And that's it. He's in the 15. So who's in the actual 14? I believe that is William Johnson in the 67, who's technically in there. We'll go ahead and get your starting lineup here. I think we got enough drivers loaded in. Start your starting lineup here. From Darlington, Joey Beck, Max Ford going to be your row 1 for week number 8. See back there in row 2, Tyler Holmes, Aaron Kovnat in the 91 going to be back there, rounding out your fast 4. Back there in P5, Patricia Casado in the 10, Trent Wilkins in the 17. Your top 6, you'll see Chase Smith, Carmela Echeverra rounding out row 4, and rounding out the top 10, Sebastian Perez, Gavin Smith in the number 13. Kylan Wilson in 87 will be back there in 11th, and 12th will go to Jason Hall in the 71. See back there in P13, William Johnson in the 67 alongside Henry Kalhoff. We saw his lap here when he qualified back there in P14. Joshua Gilbert back there in the 36 alongside Kendorian Davis rounding out to row 8. Row 9 back there in P17, Calvin Harvey. Xander McKinney back there in the 66 and rounding out your top 20, DJ Lyon, Travis Prather in the number 8 machine. Maxwell Thunderberg alongside Carter McMillan back there in 21st and 22nd. Joseph Enright, Cameron Campbell back there rounding out row 12. Emerson Crawley, Braden Schreckengost, Silas Gildman, Kelvin Belcher back here towards the back. We'll see Elliot Fortier, Wyatt Thompson back there rounding out your top 25, I believe. JJ Moore, Jose Lopez, Jacob Bryant. We'll see some drivers for the back here. Derek Turner, Chase George. Riley Ibanez rounds out the SA field tonight here from Darlington. You can look at your race weather for tonight's broadcast. 78-degree air temp, little to no wind, partly cloudy here from Darlington, South Carolina. We get ready to go green here to start week 8. We'll see if the pace truck will actually take the hard left turn down pit road. Looks like we will go one more pace lap here. We're used to seeing here from the UIS guys. The lights are off on the pace car, which usually would mean we're going green this time by, but we'll have to see. We're going to have to call an audible here and try to get our camera back to Barney as soon as we can. We can see whether we're going to be going green here this time by. So we got 37 trucks, 36 trucks actually, who showed up tonight here to Darlington to see if they can win a crown jewel event here at the Lady in Black. One more pace lap here. I wonder if they do their driver's meeting during the pace laps, and that's why they extended. I'm unsure, because it's been something we've been dealing with throughout the whole season here, with the pace car staying out longer than at least us in the booth expect it to. Well, we've done 2 pace laps here. I presume you see the 77 warming up his tires, which would tell me potentially we are going green this time by. So we are going to hopefully point the camera back to Barney the flagman. As the pace truck will take the hard left turn on pit road. We'll get ready to go 74 laps here from the Darlington Raceway. Back to Barney. We'll see Max forward. Not Max forward, Carmella. Back to green here for 74 laps. It's a huge wreck here on the first lap. Caution will wave. Get a 10 in the back. Patricia, she qualified up towards the front. You see her around. I'll have to take a look and see what happened here on the first lap. I already see the issue there. I think it looks like Patricia potentially got that 10. A little sideways here off the exit. And loses on her own. Catches it, catches it, catches it. Up the track she goes. And gets T-boned in the back by, oh man, and then the 5 comes in there. Completely gets in the back of the 23. I don't know who that 5 is. I don't see a 5 in the session. So I don't know who that is. See the 6 of Chase George, who's already down pit road here in this white machine. Well, you see them. We saw Matt. We also saw Echeverria having an issue here as well. But regardless, caution will wave. Go ahead and pull your ticker out here as we pace down here for the first time. Max Ford. Well, it was Max Ford on the front row. Thought I was correct there. Timing and scoring was off here for us up in the booth. But it looks like Aaron Kovnat got around the 77 there before the caution came out. I would say, you know, when it comes to Darlington, I feel like this is one of the only tracks that has its an advantage when you start on the top, right? Because going into 1 and 2, you'll see this all race long. Everybody's going to jump up to that wall. That's what the line is, right? If you're stuck on the bottom, it kind of puts you in a bad spot, especially on the restarts. Because either you have to drive it down there and hope that the top gives you the room, or hope that you guys can go side by side out of 2, which is pretty sketchy in any car, yet less the truck. So this is where you'll see a lot of the time that the bottom be it at a disadvantage, unlike any other track we go to on the schedule. say to everybody, as we say hello to everybody in the live chat. Say hello to Leif Opstead in the chat. I am X3 283. I believe that's his username in the chat. We appreciate everybody for coming in and typing in the live chat and everything else here. Sorry, I have boomer eyes here, even though I am at the ripe age of 25. Will be 26 here this year. Doesn't mean my eyes are the best. We appreciate it regardless. Everybody coming in and typing and interacting in the live chat. Who do you think is going to get it done tonight here from the Lady in Black? Obviously, you see Max Ford, Aaron Kovnat, Joey Beck, Tyler Helms, your top four. We get ready to get your first restart of tonight's race here on lap number 4. Going to lap number 5. It's going to be Max Ford on the outside. Back into the Sunoco restart zone. Back green from Darlington. And just like on that restart, the outside prevails as the 77 to Joey Beck loose. He somehow holds on to it, but he'll lose a plethora of spots there. Back to P6, now back to P7. You saw him get loose off the corner there. Somehow holds on to it. He gets back in line there, back into 7th place. Comes the 47, Joshua Gilbert. Do some tossling back in the back here. Jason Hall looking underneath the 13 of Gavin Smith. They'll tussle it down here in the 1 and 2. Who's gonna give the spot? 71 using it up. The 13 almost up in the outside wall. You'll see them still side by side. The 71 with a little bit of a worse run, but still side by side through 3 and 4. Is the 71 up in the outside wall? Caution will wave. Might just have to quit pointing the camera at these drivers. See it live there. 71 trying to muscle around the 13 here. Fortunately, in the 3 and 4, I don't know if they made a little bit of contact. We'll see on the blimp cam here. Now the 71 just up the track. And the 13 of Gavin Smith was there, that TH Designs machine. Yeah, now they're, not clear for the 71. He gets turned up the track there. A little bit of right front damage for the 71. We'll go back and look at the 13 of Smith here to see if he has any pretty bad damage. I don't see a lot, right? He might have some off the wall there. We don't really have cameras up there. The 1 and 2. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I don't really see a lot of damage, luckily, for the 13 of Gavin Smith. That's good news to hear. We'll see the 71. Down pit side here. Lots of damage on the right side. Gonna have to try to get this damage fixed to the best of his ability. See the right sides go up on there. He'll take a fresh set of tires. No damage. He just wants the tires. He thinks it drives well enough that he can just try to hold on here. Very interesting. So back under caution here on lap 9. We'll hit the stripe here to get lap 10. The 7 of our first 10 laps under caution. And we're here on week 8, right? Obviously, we've seen a plethora of cautions this whole season, right? You know, at this point, you would assume that you know what drivers are going to be up front and who's going to be competitive. You're going to know who's, you know, kind of the mid-pack guys, you know, the top 8, the top 15. And you should know the guys who are going to run, you know, outside of the top 15 back there in the 20s and in the 30s if we get those as many trucks here, right? And at this point, you think of, okay, if I know that I'm a 15th place guy, do not race the guy who's going to potentially be a favorite for the race win that hard, because you're just going to put yourself in a bad spot and you're going to cause a caution. You're going to, you know, make the racing worse, right? Everybody should know by now where they should be running. Like, that's the big downside of this league. Is everybody wants to race so aggressively for every spot, for every lap here. But hopefully they can figure it out here. Max Ford back to the restart zone, back green to start lap 11. Max Ford spins the tires. Tyler Helms takes advantage on the bottom. Tyler Helms takes the weight, and you see the 11 sideways in the turn 1 and 2, side by side for P2. Kovnat will clear. Helms down pit side. Helms might have got a penalty for jumping the start. That's unfortunate. So Kovnat will inherit the race lead. I wonder if he blatantly jumped it or if he just got the penalty because Max Ford spun the tires. Regardless, that hands the race lead back to the Kalhoff Deutsch machine of Aaron Kovnat. Max Ford back there in P2. Trenton Wilkins in P3. Case Smith, your fast 4. So you move to the inside. Here comes Sebastian Perez. Number 14 machine. See him using up that 8 machine caution. Drivers around in the back, the 97 to Jacob Bryant. See the 34 around too, Kevin Belcher involved in one as well. We'll take a look and see what happened here further in the back. Looks like this already happened further. So Kevin on the apron here, trying to keep that truck clean. We'll see if we can ride on board with them, because it looks like he might have approached the wreck. Oh, you see down there, yeah, the 97. We'll pause this real quick and jump up to the 97 to Jacob Bryant and see what happened with this 97 machine. You saw him, he got ran all the way down the track. Ooh, I don't know if that was netcode contact or not, but you see that Ram machine loose down the track. Both those guys knocked the inside wall down. I mean, did someone stop on track up here? Because that really shouldn't have been a caution. There it is, yeah, and then there's the 34 of Belcher. Stopped up track here. What happened to the 34? Because he was behind this wreck. He got clipped by the broken, damaged car here. I can't tell who that is. See if we can get a different camera angle. Who that potentially was. All I see is a very dark colored Ram truck. 70 machine of Elliot Fortier. Team Conti machine. He was the one who got loose and grabbed this 97 and then comes up, hooks the 34. Goshen waves. So an eventful first 15 laps. We've gotten 4 cautions here. And it just seems like every time it's the restarts that are killing these drivers, right? They want to make up the spots. They want to be aggressive to get towards the front. And this is what, you know, the side effect of that is, right? You have the drivers who want to make up spots here. Now, here at Darlington, you got to be patient. You cannot race the, you know, you even hear this in the Cup Series, right? In real life, you cannot race the drivers around you. You have to race the track. Because as soon as you start to race the drivers, this stuff starts to happen, right? Because it's already difficult enough to get around here by yourself. Get less around 30 plus other trucks tonight here in week 8. Got to be a little bit more patient. If you are patient, we go, you know, now this, what, 60 laps here, just under. You can drive your way up to the field, right? I mean, 60 laps, we're still going to have to make a green flag pit stop sooner or later. You still can make up the spots here and get a good finish for yourself. You just have to be patient. Making up the spots here in the first 5 laps are not going to win you the race if you tear up the truck trying to get there. Pace car off. You're going to see 91. Aaron Kovnat, he picks the top. He'll lead us back to green here to lap 17 on the top side. Max Ford spins the tires on the bottom. Back to green. So they're on back. You see the 15 up the tractor contact with Funderburk. Funderburk will let him keep the spot. That's the patience that I want to see. Really, really smart move out of the 96 to just lift a little bit there. Got a little bit of room from the guys behind. Let's just let him in. Give him the spot there. You see some jostling up towards the front there, the 15. Around the 17 of Trenton Wilkins. Now we're starting to see single file. Now loose in the back there. Be a 4-car pack here further on back. William Johnson in the 14 Ram machine down on the bottom. 16 up top. Streckengost. 16 will clear that little pack there. He's up 17 spots, right? And this is what I'm talking about. You got to be patient, and you will find your way up towards the front sooner or later if you're patient with it. And on the nose here of the 16 machine. Travis Prather right up ahead. Try to look for some room there on the bottom of the 96 of Funderburk. Decides to stick his head in line there. And look at this. The 16 already caught the back end of this pack again, right? Gonna lead the 14 up there as well of William Johnson. And further on up. Do some battling. 91. Kovnat trying to get away. And Max Ford is no easy feat, right? He's not going to let the pressure come off you. Chase Smith, also a good driver in his own right. Joey Beck, he's found his way back up inside the top 4 after having a couple of slides here early this race. See a little bit of a ball tap by the 11. That's going to allow the 17, the 18, my apologies, to make a move there. But you saw the 11 drive it in super deep into the corner to re-clear for P2. Now he's got a little bit more time to make up their contact further on back. Side-by-side battle back here, the 17. Now looking at the 15. He puts the 15 up an outside wall. Perez can't be happy about that. Here comes Funderburk. Because he's going to get turned off the front end of the 15, and they're going to wreck one more time. I talked about the patience on the 96 of Funderburk. That time, no patience there. Kind of a desperate move, if you ask me. You saw, you know, the 15 already kind of get put in a bad spot there. And unfortunately, instead of just, you know, trying to set him back up, you saw, you know, the momentum loss of the 15 out of turn 2. Tried to make the spot up, and then unfortunately just sat. I mean, it just looked like he wasn't there. He grabs the 16 and the 14. Two drivers who were working their way up to the field. Second guy, so we'll look at his damage. So you have a lot. He has a ton of damage on that 16 machine. That's tough. That's terrible. But caution will wait one more time. I believe we'll see a lot of our drivers down pit side here potentially. Yeah, here comes the whole field down pit road on lap 25. I mean, it's a perfect time, right? If you're with how the race is gone, right? The split in the thirds here, potentially try to two-stop this race. You'll see Cobnot, Max Ford, Trenton Wilkins, the 18. You'll see the 77, your pole sitter, Joey Beck. Down pit side here, 4 fresh Gridoo tires, topping off on some Sunoco bioethanol. Aaron Cobnot, Max Ford, Chase Smith through top 3, Joey Beck back there in P4, Trenton Wilkins. I believe your top 5 stays the same. We're going to take a quick 30-second break here, and we'll be right back here after this quick commercial break.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Jeez. My mic was muted this whole time. Once again, OBS not detecting my mic. But obviously you just saw some carnage there. The 34 Belcher getting up into the 71 of Jason Hall. Then losing talent, getting the 10 there as well, unfortunately. I believe that should be night over for the 34 as he had a lot of damage. You saw him smoking down pit side. That will probably be most likely race over for him. The caution out one more time here from Darlington. So we have the lights off on the pace truck once again. Joseph Finwright, EOL penalty. You'll see a Toyota Chevy front row. Toyota lockout for that second row. We get ready to go green here. Approaching halfway, actually a little over halfway in tonight's race. As it has definitely been chaotic to say the least. But once again, it'll be Aaron Cobb in the number 91 machine. The 77 of Joey Beck on that bottom row. You'll see back there Max Ford, Trenton Wilkins, your fast four. See the pace car once again. Head down pit side. And we'll hand the race back over to the 91. Aaron Comdon as he picks the top once again back into the Sunoco restart zone. Back green here from Darlington. That time to 77 to Beck. A little bit of a good jump. They're going to be side by side through 1 and 2. Beck trying to use up the 91, trying to take up that track real estate. Beck loose off the corner. He'll spin it out. We'll see if that's a caution. Single car spin down and on the apron. I don't know if they'll call that. As they will. Joey Beck around. Pulls it back up the track there. We get the opportunity to. We'll welcome in Frank DeAngelis up into the HVTV booth as we're under caution here for the umpteenth time. But I think this is Frank's debut here in the HVTV booth, but we welcome him in. Obviously, we saw the 77 lose it off of turn 2 there. Went up the track, and then unfortunately, I don't know if that, I don't think he meant to do that, but just the way the truck happened to spin out there, comes back up the track. Obviously, admins had to call that as some trucks behind had to take some evasive maneuvers here. Caution back out here one more time here from the lady in black. And that turn 2, getting a lot of drivers tonight. So back under caution here. I'm interested to see when these drivers decide to come down pit side again. See them shorten the caution here. Because now I think we have Frank up here in the booth as he has permission to talk with us. But under caution here, getting ready to go back 1 to green.
It is a pleasure to make my HGTV debut. Really happy that it's a track as racy as Darlington. Going to be a lot of action, as there already has been. I joined like a little bit ago, and it's been one of those races.
Obviously, trucks, Darlington, you know, if you can't handle it, it's pretty easy to lose talent, lose control. Getting to some other drivers here, we've definitely seen a lot of that tonight, but it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers do as we get ready to go back to green here. We'll see the pace truck back down. Once again, Aaron Kovnai, ever since he's taken a race lead, is not giving it back up. He picks the top once again. It'll be the 11, a Max Ford, back into the Sunoco restart zone and back green here to start lap 39. Pretty tidy restart for the front 5 there. You'll see the front 2 get clear single file. You'll see a battle for potentially P3s. You see someone spinning loose in the back.
There he goes for the lead.
Yeah, the 11 to Max Forward back to the lead. Trying to make a
Big
slider.
He's still there. He shuts the door. Oh, that was close.
Clear.
Oh, big block.
Yeah, and a big block for the 11. He's going to try to keep the race lead. Kovnai.
Oh, he wrecks him. He wrecks him. He wrecks himself almost.
Puts him in the wall. They somehow keep it straight. As here comes the rest of the field here. The 87.
The 17's in the wall.
The 17 is the wrecking in the back.
Big wreck in the back. That is the big one, and the caution's going to come out. Oh, man.
I think I saw the 13 of first truck I saw sideways back there. We'll see if we can grab the 13. I believe that's Gavin Smith.
Oh, man.
This caution will wave one more time, as we've seen it's happen a plethora of times here throughout the night. Just, you know, people trying to make a move when it seems like every time someone sees a mistake, someone wants to jump on it. This time it looks like the 13 just got dumped by the 78 there. Of DJ Lion just gets in the back of them out of 2. I mean, definitely the 13 didn't have the best corner, but see the 78 just get in the back of him there, gets him around, and nowhere for any of these guys in the back to go. You see the 21 involved. You see the 96
nowhere
up on 2 rears. Xander McKinney in the back there. Carmelo Echeverra, nowhere to go. Yeah, that's just, you know, that's kind of the way that Darlington is, especially at it too. You know, if you collect it out of there, there's really nowhere to go because that truck just wants to skate up to the wall, and that's where usually most of those drivers are. And if they're stopped up there, there's nowhere to go for a lot of those guys. But you'll see some drivers come down pit road here. Looks like, yeah, some drivers down pit side here. Obviously, the drivers with some damage are going to get some fixed. But you see some drivers like the 17, Trent Wilkins. He was up inside the top 5. Decides to come down pit road here. A little bit of a different strategy.
He smacked the wall. I don't know if he's got damage or not, but he got a good chunk of the wall. That might be why he's coming down.
Yeah, looking at the 17, I don't see a lot of cosmetic damage. Granted, that doesn't mean he doesn't have damage at all. Obviously, these trucks are pretty sensitive to damage, especially with the tires and the suspension and stuff here. Because these trucks are, like, the bodies are pretty sturdy and pretty well put together. You can rough these things up pretty good and get away with it, but obviously the parts underneath are what really matter. So potentially 17 getting some damage fixed. But Frank, obviously a lot of cautions tonight, and obviously you expect this in the trucks, especially here at Darlington. Obviously walk us through the difficulties of, you know, not only racing this track by yourself, but just side by side with other guys.
Coming from someone who raced this car track combo in the Road to Pro scene, It was probably one of the sketchiest races because you're racing yourself, you're racing the track, you're saving your tires, you're trying not to get ran over, you're trying to avoid wrecks like that. There's so many things at this track that could bite you, and half the time it's not even your fault, but it's really tricky, especially when it goes green. And then if you don't save your tires, then you're going to be in no man's land for quite some time.
I definitely agree. Obviously, you know, this is one of the only ovals we come to on the circuit where it's really you have to race the track, and then secondly, you have to race around the others around you and try to keep yourself going here. And you look at the 11, a lot of damage on that truck. He gets the race lead away.
He got sent to the fence there.
Yeah, exactly. A slider from the 11 gives him the race lead, but gets a little bit of residual damage from it. So now it's going to be Max Ford on the top side. He takes the race lead back away, back to green.
Big jump. 91 was not going at all. 87's looking 3. I'm still looking 3. Oh, he's going to wreck the 19. Oh.
You see a bunch of a stack up there further on back is that, you know, the 91 didn't get going. And then when the bottom doesn't get going, it kind of forces everybody else to react to the drivers back on here. You see side-by-side action. The 87, the 20, that's Tyler Helms, last season's defending champion. He's going to look topside here, going to try to get the run off of turn 3 and 4. Going to try to get clear there. And once again, that 87 kind of in no man's land. I feel like, you know, Frank, you kind of want to be on, this is one of the only tracks where you kind of want to be on the top coming into 1 and 2.
The top is your best friend because when you get that arc off the wall and you could diamond it, nobody is passing you. That is the elite lane short run. That's the elite lane long run.
I mean,
you're on the top, so it's going to be hard to get by you.
Exactly. I mean, you saw the 87. He was up in P5, and you saw just 3 trucks just blow by him on the top side. Nowhere for that 87 to go. He drops back to
here we go.
P6.
Chase Smith looking low.
Chase Smith. But here comes the 91, Kalhoff.
That's why you want that outside lane because you could do stuff like that. It's good to defend, and it's also good to pass when you catch someone lacking on the bottom like that.
And look at that.
Chase, he lost second. He's gonna lose third.
Yeah, here comes Tyler Helms. I feel like Tyler's always been good about putting himself in the spot to where if someone wants to make a move, he will take the spot from you if you put yourself in a bad spot.
Joey Beck, didn't he just spun it and put tires on it?
Yeah, and that's
up to 5th.
Yeah, someone I'm looking at it is Beck because he has the fresh tires, right? Granted, we ran quite a few caution laps here, but you know, fresh tires are fresh tires, especially here at Darlington.
His last lap was a 29.9 while passing people. The leader ran a 30.23.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
this goes green. Joey Beck is in a really good spot.
Gavnot starting to run down your race leader once again here.
He's got that outside run.
Yeah, he picked the top there. In 3 and 4, he's going to have a run. He's going to look side by side here. 11. Defensive block there. He's loose.
Oh, he's getting them arrow loose.
And they're going to be side by side out of 2. Going to have to.
That's tight.
You don't see that a whole lot. They're making it work there side by side out of 2. But here comes now Tyler Helms. Tyler, I've said this before, he's one of the best at pouncing on inopportune situations by drivers. He's going to look side by side for the race lead. Both of them loose out of the corner.
Is he on tire? Is the 20 on tires?
The 20 is not on tires.
So he's just doing this.
He's just doing this, and like that's what I said.
By Tyler.
I've said it time and time again. Tyler's just one of the best at putting himself in a good spot to make passes, and he started P7 this restart, back up to P2 already, running down, you know, his Precision Speed Solutions teammate there in the 11 of Max Ford. You see Joey Beck really loose out of 4, keeps the P4
Big
spot
slide.
right now.
Another thing you have to watch out for these trucks is the dirty air. You just saw it right there. The 11 put about a 10th or so on the 20 just on corner entry with that dirty air on entry. But there's also the aero loose situation. If the guy in second gets to the bumper of the guy, he kind of he packs the air on the bumper and gets him a little loose. He didn't even need to do that. He just went to the bottom and just passed him.
Yeah, I mean, Max is having a lot of issues there. I don't know if maybe it's from that rear end damage. I know when you get that damage on the rear end, it really does make that car a lot more twitchy on exit there. Now you're seeing Joey Beck.
Joey Beck's going to leave him no room.
He's super sideways again down the backstretch. He's going to lose a plethora of spots there. Max Ford from leading back to P6 here after a big slide out of turn 2.
Yeah, his tires are not good with all the sliding. It's just keeping the pressure and not the pressure, the temperature very high, and once he starts sliding, that hot pressure, not pressure, the hot temperature. You gotta cool him off for a few laps, or else he's gonna be in big trouble.
And I think that was kind of the thing that bit Max is he was trying to keep the race lead, right? And then the more he tried to race it hard to try to stay in front of that 20, the more he heated up those rear tires, and the more they get heated up, the more they're going to want to slide and slip and slide around. And now that he's in P6, I'm going to tell him now, just back it off right now, get those tires back cooled down. He's got a fast truck, right? He drove up to the lead. He qualified back there in P2. He's got a good truck underneath him. Just needs to, get back and, calm down, get your head back down.
He's gotta save those tires, cool them off, and start playing defense from DJ Lion in the 78 truck.
Yeah, he just got a little bit of time to get back to the 11 there. You see him; he's actually got a little bit of pressure from the 17. But right now, this is the kind of the long run. He
actually just let the 17 go. Oh yeah, the 17, he's on fresh tires. He pit that last yellow.
Yeah, 17 is on fresh, and I think maybe that's why you saw DJ just get out of the way there. I like that. I feel like this is that green flag run.
Sign. Yeah.
That's that green flag running. That green flag run that we were hopefully trying to see there. Everybody trying to be a little bit
out of the way.
Yeah, trying to be cordial. I think some people are understanding of other people's situations on the race. Obviously, you saw the 17 just get waved by the 78. Is now the 17 has caught the back end of the 11, right, with those fresh Goodyear stickers, and obviously he's fine right now, trying to get around the 11. Once again, if I'm Max, do the same thing, right? You're still trying to cool those tires off, trying to get recomposed again. Just let him go. He's got the fresher tires.
If you're looking at lap times, I don't think Joey Beck took tires when he spun. Either he didn't take tires or he's hard saving, because all these guys in the top 4, top 5, they're running high 30.7s or mid 30.8s. The 17 of Trent Wilkin, who just pit that last yellow, he hasn't ran lower than a 0.5 since the restart. So he is mowing them down.
So Joey Beck is on slightly newer tires than the guys in front, but he doesn't have new tires like the
if this goes green,
so.
Trenton's gonna win this by default if he keeps the truck clean.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. Joey, he's got fresher tires. I think right now, like you said, he might be just trying to sandbag a little bit. Yeah.
He knows he has the advantage, so when he wants to pounce, he can pounce.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's not going to be easy to pass this 20 machine. Tyler does not like to get past, and he's going to make it as hard as he can for the
17 made a three wide slider, got a 2-for-1.
Yeah, look at that. I have to P4 for Trenton Wilkins here, and he is driving through the field right now.
If this goes green, Trenton might have done something here with that tire strategy.
Yeah, Trenton up to P4. He's hunting down that 18 pretty quickly here.
Oh, he's gonna pass him. He's gonna pass him right here.
Down into 3 and 4. If he can just do the same thing he did to those other 2 trucks.
Easy.
A little bit of a slider. Still gonna be side by side here at exit though. 18 with a good corner run on the top, but once again, if the 17 just drives it in here down into 1, he can do it right. Should be able to get around to 18 here.
See, that's why I was talking about earlier. The top is, he just let him go. He let him go there, but that's why the top is so good, because if they were on equal tires, the top, you're able to hold off. It's really good for defense and offense. But there's not many tracks where you could just hang it on the guy's door on the outside and then hold off as much as here.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see, but now, obviously, Joey Beck, he's got that driver with the newer tires. Does he start to try to make the moves now, right? Does he say, okay, like, he's here, I got to go, right? Or does he continue to sit?
If I'm Joey Beck, I'm seeing the 17 get closer and closer, and I'm going.
Well, not only that, they're catching lap traffic, right?
They got lap traffic. They were side by side, I think. I don't know. Oh, no. They're just different speeds.
Different speeds.
It's going to be interesting to see how...
Yeah, I mean,
they catch the lap traffic.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The 16 you see is very off the pace there. You see literally no left front fender on there. But, not only is there lap traffic.
And he's going to check up the 17. Oh, man. You know, if you guys are watching, that is not what to do as a lap car.
I mean, especially if you're that tore up and that slow, right? You just got to get out of the way. Honestly, if you're the 16 there, but
Well,
'cause
luckily
now,
Trenton's got those tires. Yeah,
yeah,
you gotta be like these guys.
yeah,
Oh, okay, maybe
Well,
not.
a
maybe,
little bit of
maybe
contact.
not. I don't know what they were doing.
But here comes the 77 here for the race lead, side by side in the 1 and 2. But once
Here we
again,
go.
the top's gonna
To the
prevail.
top.
Joey Beck, what is he willing to do to get around this 20? He's got better tires, but Tyler Helm's one of the best defenders here in UIS. He's one of the best defenders I've seen on the sim outside of, you know, the pro guys. He's really good at putting his car in a good spot to keep someone behind him, but 77 all over the back end here, going through 1 and 2.
Well, with 12 laps to go, all you gotta do is just protect that left rear, which he's not doing as Joey Beck gets some arrow loose. Not
Still-
enough to get to these in. Oh, never mind. It's over. Here comes Trenton.
Grant
Never
Vulcan
mind.
side by side for P2. Going to try to hold on, trying to get around the 77 as quickly as possible. He's going to try to get side by side with the race leader. Tyler Helms trying to hold on. Going to get clear for now. Contact for P2. It's wrecking further back.
On
Chase
the
Smith.
wrecking. Oh, man.
And he's held on to it, but caution waves regardless. A great save by the 18. I think that was, hopefully that wasn't between him and a lap car. We'll have to see here.
It was not. It was the 91.
So it was Covenant, Chase Smith here, battling it out there. You see that Darlington throwback scheme for the 18 machine. Usually you see that, you know, on a
He
sports
just
clips machine. Yeah,
taps
just
the wall. He just runs himself into the wall a little bit. Truck gets a little uneven, and 91 was there.
yeah. I mean, it was a little bit of 91 coming up, trying to, you know, protect the spot in the 81 and the 18. My apologies. Getting up and outside wall, just turns down just a little bit to get it off of it, and then they just get together there. So caution out here once again, and you know that strategy that was potentially going to help that 17 all out the window. You'll see everybody coming down pit side here to take some fresh tires, but maybe
Oh,
top
he
off
just
on
got
some fuel.
driven through. The 17 just got driven through on this pit entrance. Hopefully that didn't give him damage.
It looks like you got a little bit of right rear damage there. Is Jose Lopez into the back of the 17 here, but now it's going to be about who has a better
Now-
pit stop.
This is going to come down to who has a better pit stop, and this restart is going to come down to who's a really good short run. Because we're going to be green with maybe 5 or 6 laps to go here.
And I really think this kind of falls into Tyler Helms' hands. You know, he's one of the guys who really good on the short run, tends to burn their stuff up, and can defend enough to, you know, hold on to a good spot here. So Tyler needs a good stop. Get him back out in front.
And that was not the last yellow. I can guarantee you that.
Helms, I think, got the
Helms back.
77.
Everyone pretty much came out how they went in. I mean, if you're Chase Smith, you were the caution car. You're like, oh man, I wrecked, but you're still 6th. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really.
And yeah,
Not bad
fresh
of a
tires.
thing.
Yeah. I mean,
And everyone's back on fresh tires, and
yeah.
he's 2 rows away from the lead.
Exactly. I mean, he got spun out, but was able to, you know, get that thing back going. No damage for the 18. You know, nothing, right? Just kind of got spun down the track. Come down pit road. Make sure there's no damage. I don't see any, right? And obviously he came out in 6th, which means he definitely didn't have any, or not enough to want to fix it. So
Yeah,
now
with this little time left in the race, if you get, as long as it's not crazy, you're not taking that damage. You're gonna let it ride, and that's exactly what he's gonna do here.
Yeah, so you'll see that 18, third on the top, back there in P6, and the 91, the driver he made contact with, he'll be back there in P5 right next to him on that bottom side. But once again, it'll be now a Chevy Toyota front row. It's Tyler Helms.
Just like the real life race, Tyler chooses the top. Just like in real life, this is one of those rare tracks where if you're on the bottom as a leader, you're at a disadvantage. So just about every restart, the leader has chose the top. Keep note of that in case there's more restarts.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if the leader, you know, if this is the kind of decisive line here for the rest of the time here for the leader, as the leader is the only truck with the who gets to choose here in UIS, but regardless, getting ready to go. Underneath 10 to go here. Tyler
Ooh,
Helms
I don't
back
know.
to the green. Not a good jump though.
I don't know about that one. I don't think the leader started the race on that. We'll see what race officials think. And oh man. Oh, they're tight. They're tight. Oh,
Contact.
Joey back puts him in the wall. They both wreck. Oh man. Oh,
He's going to
shades
turn
of
down the
Ross
track.
Chastain.
Oh, man.
Shades of Ross Chastain and Kyle Larson. Two aggressive
And they're
guys.
still wrecking.
Oh my. That's the back half of the field in turn 3 and 4. All wadded up. Oh man.
Take a look. Obviously, we saw that, and Brent kind of nailed it on the head right there. That's literally what happened, you know.
Those are two guys that
didn't want to give up the lead there.
Yeah. Oh man. And just like what you said, Tyler, third to first.
Man. And then I don't know what happened here further on back.
Yeah, what?
We'll have to take a look and see.
That's incredible. We gotta.
So it looks like it started with the 98 here. So he comes down the track, trying to avoid everybody.
Dollar General car.
And then he just.
Dollar General car. He gets tagged.
And he just kind of
spins it,
locks it
saves
down, and then just kind of locks it down,
and
and
just
they just all pile in.
Oh man. Oh man. Man. Oh man. If you're able to look back at the restart, I don't really think, from my experience, I don't think the leader actually started that one.
Well, we'll take a look. Regardless, I mean, Joey Beck's damaged, so I think his race is.
That would be his
done.
penalty, yeah.
But we'll take a look at the restart while we get the opportunity to. We'll take a look here if we can find Joey Beck. We'll do a little bit of a chopper cam here. Back into the restart zone. Ooh, yeah. I mean, it looks like, yeah, that's pretty close. I mean, it looks like at the very least he rolled up to the leader, right? Just to get that little bit more momentum on the start. So that's definitely.
He's going 68.
Yeah.
He's going 68 compared to the leader going. Compared to the leader going 62.
Yeah.
At the time of the acceleration, so.
Yeah, it looked like at the very least he rolled up to Tyler. It looked like he tried to lay back a little bit, which is allowed as long as you don't blatantly jump it. And like I said, it's so in the gray, right? I don't know if that would be up to race control or race admins of whether that's going to be frowned upon.
That little spurt in that restart zone is how he got ahead of him into turn 1 and allowed them to be that close to cause that wreck. So really unfortunate series of events for those two.
Yeah, so it looks like Tyler, nonetheless, not a lot. I see a little bit of left front on the 20, but still
I don't know.
I don't know how that truck's gonna drive, but it looks better than I thought it would. Nonetheless, I thought he'd probably come down and try to take damage with.
He did kind of get lucky with the caution call, as he is P2.
Yeah.
Could have been way worse. I mean, no one really knows. Even he doesn't know how this truck's gonna drive until we send him off into turn 1 again. 3 laps to go.
That's gonna be a 3-lap dash here from Darlington. We have not used our allowed overtimes yet, so we'll have 3 in the bank if we need to use them. Hopefully we can get a good 3-lap dash here.
He's doing the same thing Joey Beck did. He's a whole truck length behind him this time.
So now as you're asking me, Wilkins, and this time not a good jump like Joey Beck did. I think the 17 should be clear. You're going to 1 and 2. It's gonna be a battle for P2. The 91 of Kovna, and now it's gonna be the 20 of Helms here for P2. Saw someone in the back there pretty squirrely. Kovna should be able to get clear here out of the backstretch. Now, can he run down your race leader?
Judging from what I've been able to see, that 91 was probably the 3rd, maybe 4th fastest truck on an equal playing field, maybe faster than the 17. Oh, man.
The Helms up into the outside wall.
Oh, and they're going to wreck. It's the big one again. There goes Helms. Oh, and a major ARCA break as they're still wrecking. Oh, man.
Ray threw around. You see the 20 getting spun back around. Caution waves one more time.
Ooh.
Tyler Helms around. You see I think some potential beef back there. We'll have to see what happened first to Helms. You saw him just get hooked up the track here. Oh, yeah.
The same way that last yellow happened, the 2 yellows ago. The eight bounces off the wall, probably very loose, trying to just run the top. With a little piece of the wall, and then the truck zigs and zags, and unfortunately zags the 20 there.
Yeah, it looked like everybody kind of squirrely out of 4 there and looking back now at that, that was just 2 trucks trying to squeeze into a hole there that was closing. Yeah.
The real question is, who was the leader?
Yeah, that's going to be a big question. It looks like right now it's going to give it to Kovna, at least up in timing and scoring. We'll have to see.
I believe Aaron. Yes. Aaron was in the lead.
So it's going to give him the race lead there. So, I mean, we saw the 17. He got squirrely out of 4. Remember, he does have that rear end damage from getting hit under caution.
Probably played a factor, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, at least from my experience, there's a lot of times where when I've gotten rear end damage in this truck, it really does affect the handling, especially on a corner exit. So.
Oh man, especially a track like this.
And especially the right rear. I mean, the left rear you can get away with sometimes.
The tracks where the right rear wears off, if you have any sort of aero damage or rear end damage, you might as well just park it and fix it, because you're not coming back from any of it.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to restart back in P2. We'll use our first of 3 green-white checkers. I mean, if they keep wrecking like they do, he might be able to hold on to a podium. I don't know if he's going to, as long as Aaron gets a good jump like he did that one time, I think he can hold on to it. Granted, I'm looking back at, and there's no one really who's in striking distance with fresher tires. The first guy on fresh E tires, I guess, is the 11, who came down the latest, but he's only got 4-5 lap fresher tires, and that's not even including pace laps.
And they're all caution laps. So
yeah.
I think with this green-white checker, you could scratch that tire advantage, because they definitely went through a little bit of a heat cycle. So they're kind of on a near playing field, even playing field. It's just gonna come down to if Aaron could run that outside lane good enough to not let his left rear get snatched.
Yeah, well, and we saw it, the 91, that's how he got to the 17, is he ran the wall up there in 3 and 4 and had a massive run and was able to take advantage of the 17, getting a little squirrely out of 4. So I think he's going to be able to do that. He has his teammate back there, Henry Kalhoff, back there in P4 as well.
Yeah,
so.
I was gonna shout him out before we went back green. I started watching the race around lap 20. I haven't seen him up front really the whole race, but you don't gotta be up front at the start. You gotta be up front at the end, and he's done just that. And he's on the outside, so.
Well, not only that, he's probably gonna get a teammate countdown here. So.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be mint, and he's gonna be the one shoving his teammate into turn 1 to keep that lead. So. Who knows?
It's going to be really interesting to see how these two work together here at these last couple laps here. Remember, Henry comes in here P2 in points, so needs a good finish to keep a hold of that stranglehold. But 91, back to the jump here.
Oh, man,
back
the 17
green.
Was asleep. Trenton was napping as the 19's all over him. And look at that. Henry up to second.
Yeah, Kalhoff Deitch 1-2.
Oh, they think they're wrecking. No.
Max Ford. He was on that top side too. He's going to look outside. Now he's going to try to look inside potentially here in the 3 and 4.
Oh, he's throwing. Oh, he's going to go for a slider. I don't know about that one, Max.
Max Ford trying to make it work, but Kalhoff. And they're going to go official. Kovna back to the stripe. And Aaron and his teammate hold on here to get a 1-2 finish, or does the 11? Does the 17 have anything for them here? 11 with the huge run out of down the backstretch. One last tee for the 11 machine.
He's gonna send it on Henry. It's gonna be close. He's not gonna get there. Maybe a teammate 1-2 finish.
Yeah, out of turn 4. Give it to him. Kovna gets it from Darlington.
What a race.
I mean, you couldn't have set it up any better way for these two guys, right? Teammates, 1-2 on the top. Get the jump they need, get clear, and just be able to hold on there. Obviously, Max Ford, a good attempt to try to get that P2 way, but not enough time, I don't think, for Max to get up there and do it the right way. He was just trying to send in a couple of sliders and hope for something to happen. Still comes home P3, a good finish for the 11 machine. But the race belongs to the 91 of Aaron Kovnat. Congratulations to him. I believe his first win of the season. We can take a look here on point standings here. Yes, it is his first win of the season. He's been close a couple times here. He's gotten a couple of interviews with us up here in the booth. But his first win of the season here for the Cal Dodge Racing number 91 machine. You'll see him burning down for the front stretch in front of you fans at home. What a way to win it. You know, obviously got caught up in a couple incidents. Was able to drive his way back up to the race lead here when it counts and gets his first win of the season.
Definitely a hard-fought one. That was a race of attrition right there, as he's going to line up next to his teammate. Might be doing double burnouts here, no? I don't know what they're doing, but whatever celebration they're doing, it's definitely a deserved one.
Yeah, what a recovery for the 63. Did not show speed in practice. Did not qualify very well. He jumped up from 14th in qualifying to get up here to a P2 finishing position. That's gonna be a huge day for him in points, especially considering, you know, the 20 got wrecked on that last caution there. He was the last caution. He finished his P10, so they should come in almost tied in points coming into next week. So it's gonna be interesting to see what Henry can do next week coming into there. But obviously, the race belongs to the 91. Aaron Kovnat gets his first win of the season here. So congratulations to him. We're going to take a quick commercial break before we start your post-race show here. Talk to your top three finishers and finish out tonight's broadcast here from the Lady in Black. But we'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
As we welcome everybody back here to the virtual Darlington Raceway for the post-race show for Week 8 of the Season 7 of the UIS Send It Motors Prospect Truck Series. Obviously, myself, Christian Delgado, up here in the HPTV booth, but Frank D'Angelo is also up here. We're going to have to let him go a little bit early. But Frank obviously came in here the last, 50-ish laps of the race here. Obviously, a really good race for you, but obviously walk us through, your perspective of how the race went.
Definitely chaotic. Chaotic, fun, competitive. It was a pleasure to be in the booth and actually watch a race play out from the TV screen instead of being in the truck. I don't know which one I like more now, but definitely a fun one that unfolded, and I can't wait for the next one.
I can't wait to see how this unfolds next week here for week number 9. But obviously, got to let Frank go a little bit before we get done here. But Frank, we appreciate you up here in the booth, and hopefully we can have you some more up here.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
As we will have to jump into the actual UIS booth to hear from your top 3 finishers tonight. Let's go ahead and talk to your race winner tonight here up in the HVTV booth. Let's go ahead and talk to Henry Kalhoff, who gets his first win of the season here in Season 7. Henry, Aaron, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes,
I got a copy.
Well, obviously, I thought it was pretty fitting. 2 teammates, obviously the team owner. Coming home 1-2, I thought it'd be pretty cool to kind of do a co-ed combined interview with you two. Obviously, I know you guys racing really close with each other. Obviously, a really close-knit team with Kalhoff Dice Racing. But first of all, Aaron, congratulations on your first win of the season. Henry, another solid P2 finish for you, another podium finish. But Aaron, obviously your first win of the season here. What's the feeling, especially having your teammate come home in P2?
Oh, dude, it feels amazing. That is while I did kind of make some people mad that race, that was probably one of my hardest drives ever at Darlington and ever in this truck. I roughed up, Max Ford a little bit. So if you're listening to this, man, I'm honestly, I'm sorry. It was just a racing deal. And then, I fell back a little bit and, I was getting passed left and right. I chewed up my right front and got in that little incident with the 18, I think. Just really unfortunate. I really did not mean to hit him. But yeah, we got together and, I got really lucky with a couple wrecks, and then I really hope you guys caught it. But Trenton had a little bit of damage, and I got a big run on the outside and out of the corner. I flew right by him, and man, but before I continue, Trenton, again, if Trenton's listening to this, thank you for not hooking it there and racing me clean. I really appreciate you. Yeah, just dude, what a race. I mean, that's. I mean, we led a lot. Like I said, roughed up Max Ford. I do feel bummed about that. So, but yeah, just awesome to finally have KDR finish 1-2 in a race. I mean, this is so awesome. This is one of my all-time favorite wins, probably. Maybe dip, but just the results. And yeah, I'm so proud.
Yeah, obviously your first win of the season and a way to do it, lean 35 laps. And we did see that pass for the inevitable win there on the 17 there as the 17 got a little bit loose out of 4. You're able to capitalize, take the hard left turn down and make the pass there before that caution came out. And obviously going back to you, Henry, obviously not the qualifying, not really the practice that I expected to see out of you in that 63 team. But we're able to, keep your head down and work your way back up to, and then obviously come home P2 behind your teammate here in Aaron.
Well, I mean, this is kind of what happens when a couple people in the top 10 smoke the devil's lettuce and don't know how to drive a Darlington on the first lap. And so got taken up there, spent the whole race trying to get the damage fixed up, and just saying half the field pissed me off there, but that doesn't matter. Aaron Conda is the man. I mean, I am so happy I hired him a couple of years ago. He's the greatest driver on the team, and I am proud to say that. And I didn't think I'd get up to him, and he was getting frustrated mid-race, but I told him, just keep your head in the game. You're going to win this somehow. And he didn't believe me, but evidently it happened. So on that last restart, just everything worked out. I pushed him, and Trent just didn't go. So everything just went really well there at the end. So that was freaking awesome. And we didn't destroy any trucks, so that's great for my bank account. So overall, a great race. I loved racing at Darlington, even though half the people pissed me off. So I'm probably, well, I can't have alcohol yet, but I'll probably find some Jack Daniels and drown my sorrows with that. But overall, what a great race that was.
Well, obviously, we saw me and Frank up in the booth called out that you were going to be starting behind your teammate there on that last restart. What kind of how much did both your guys kind of eyes light up when you saw, oh man, like Henry's back there behind me. If I pick the top, we can get this teammate restart down. Hopefully, get a good jump here and potentially take this 1-2 here.
Well, there was a couple wrecks beforehand that happened right in front of me, and I just tucked my wings in and flew right through for a bald eagle. And
Amen, brother.
everybody else wrecked around me. So, I mean, I was like running 15th for the whole race, and I was like, man, this is gonna be a really shitty day, and I hope John Garrett doesn't leave our team. But things worked out at the end. Was able to get behind Aaron, and he just kind of told me when to go. I pushed him, and I didn't plan on passing him. I was just gonna follow him to the win. I was at least gonna make him earn it, like stay close to him. But overall, what a great race that was, and I'm super proud of Aaron. He did a wonderful job, and I'm
Thank you, man.
blessed to have him on the team.
Obviously, like we said, a KDR 1-2. Congratulations to you two. Obviously, a really good team day. Obviously, a good points day for both of you. As Henry should actually surpass and retake the points lead post Darlington here. So just an overall really good day for you two here from Darlington. But before we let you guys go, anybody you guys want to shout out, thank for tonight's fantastic run tonight from the Lady in Black?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out News Racing Shop. I'd like to thank out FTN Broadcasting, P&E, Keep Your Graphics, this great country of America. In fact, maybe a slight announcement here. Cal Dutch Racing will be competing in the Spot 24. Henry Kaloff for hiring me. Cal Dutch Racing, everyone. 213 Simware. My personal graphic design company, Aaron's Design Thingy. Henry, I think you have a couple.
Well, I'd like to thank Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, my parents, a couple sponsors that you may have not mentioned, and all the Henry Kolf and KDR fans are getting laid tonight. So, what a great night, Darlington.
Well, we definitely appreciate you guys for your time up here in the booth. And another congratulations for you guys. Hopefully you can keep that momentum rolling in the next week.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother.
We will do that.
You guys have a good rest of the night.
All right, let's
You
get
as
kicked
well.
out of Applebee's.
Aaron Kovnat, Henry Kalhoff, very, very exciting to finish for them. Let's go ahead and talk to your third podium finisher tonight in the 11. Max Ford comes home P3. Let's go ahead and talk to the driver up in the HVTV booth. Hey, Max Ford, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. I got a copy.
I got a copy.
Well, P3 for you in this whole 11 machine. Obviously, look to have, top 2, top 3 speed. You come home P3 tonight. Led a couple laps tonight as well. But looks like those two KDR trucks, time to restart just well enough that not enough time for you to actually make a legitimately good, attempt to try to get around those two. But we're able to hold on for P3 tonight. Walk us through your race.
Honestly, it was restarts for starting the outside. I got Tyler Helms on a restart jump. It's pretty huge, but I knew I had like the third fastest car. I just needed a long run, and I lost the lead because Tyler Helms jumped it, and it's just dirty air. I just got stuck behind, and until I got a better start. But once Aaron took the lead, trying to time his restarts, he went same place every single time. I found that out, had a good restart, a better one at least, where I could go side by side with him, and he comes down, shots my nose, and almost wrecks me and him. And next time I got to him, I think it was in turn 3. I was going to pass him cleanly. I just wanted him to run the high lane. I wanted him to run middle, and I guess he thought I was going to go bottom, so he turned down, hit me, but then I still got by, and then literally the next, I guess, half lap later in turn 1, he gassed it up, hit me in the rear, gave me damage, 25 seconds, and that just killed me. It just was loose, and you probably saw it on stream, but he later said it in the race that it was intentional, so I'll be protesting him and just racing him like that in future notices.
Obviously, hard racing tonight from the Lady in Black, and obviously, it seemed pretty hard to set up people with how it looked like the truck just built loose throughout the run here. The little bit of long runs that we did have tonight. Walk us through just the dynamics of how to set up the truck and how to make this thing go as long as you can.
Honestly, I didn't really feel loose, excluding the rear end damage I had. Um, I think a lot of people were running. So turn 1 and 2, there's the gray dirt marble area, and I noticed during practices, if I run super high, like higher up, then I'm gonna get loose off exit at 2. But if I run middle a little bit higher up, just a little bit, I'm gonna be fine and not get loose. And so I took note of that, and I just used that to my advantage while everyone else was running higher and they were getting loose. So I didn't really get loose. I was just maintaining my tires, and we just never got that long run.
Obviously, definitely a chaotic night to say the least here from the Lady in Black, but it's what you expect. It's one of the more difficult tracks to come here, especially in the trucks. As there's not a lot of room for error, um, especially at a two. And we saw a lot of cautions happen tonight. And obviously, my last question for you is: we did have a lot of cautions tonight. You were involved in a couple of them. What's kind of the mindset you had to have to drive your way back up into P3?
I just got to make position on restarts. I mean, with dirty air this car had and the air grief, restarts just like the next gen, it's critical. Like you have to make up your positions as fast as you can, because later in the run it goes could be harder to get in the middle run, but long run you'll be able to pass. And what 15 to go, just making my way through wrecks, just getting through restarts, and having some luck on my side finally.
Well, you definitely did a good job taking advantage when you could, getting back up to P3 on the start there. Obviously, you started back there in sixth on that last restart, able to get up to a podium spot tonight here for that whole 11 team. Should help you in the points quite a bit as well. So, before we let you go, though, Max, anybody you want to thank, appreciate or shout out for tonight's run here from the Lady in Black?
I want to thank God for just giving me just this luck. I feel like Daytona is the only good race I've had, just finishing wise. I think I got fourth there and I get third here, and that's the best positions. Other than that, it's been P20, P20, P23. Like, it's been hard wrecks, and a lot of them aren't my fault. And just happy to get some luck on my side. And I want to thank the Ford family for allowing me to drive a Toyota as always. And thanks to Precision Setups at GG for the setups. And as I'm sitting in practice for A Open for SOF as we speak right now. So, yeah, just thanks to them. Thanks to all the owners, James, Alex, Chase, and for you for streaming.
We'll definitely appreciate the words up here in the booth, and hopefully we can talk to you once again up here in at least a podium spot coming into next week. Is hopefully you can take this momentum and start to build up those good finishes that you need.
Yep, thank you.
Max Ford comes home P3 here from Darlington, and yeah, he kind of put it right on the dot there. He's definitely had a bad stretch here, outside of Daytona, right? And we know he's honestly probably a top 4 driver in the series, not just here at Darlington. He's super quick. He's super consistent. We've seen him run in the Prestige Cup series, and especially on those mile and a halves, he's just untouchable if he can keep the cars on the track. And he showed it tonight, right? Got into a little bit of a mess obviously with the 91, and we heard both sides of the story there from obviously Aaron, who won tonight's race, and obviously from Max, who comes home P3. So interesting to see that dynamic as the season comes on. Is obviously Max not very happy with Aaron. Aaron obviously trying to show his case for what happened in his point of view, but obviously it sounds like still some talks to be had between those two drivers in the future. But regardless, still a obviously chaotic race. Season 7 has been filled with chaos. These drivers cannot keep it off each other. We had a plethora of wrecks throughout the whole season tonight. And obviously it came down to a 3-lap dash there for the win there, as the 91 and the 63, those KDR trucks coming home 1-2. So congratulations to all the KDR. I know those guys worked their tail off making sure they're getting prepared for these races. So I know that's got to be pretty special for them to come home 1-2. Well, speaking of that, let's go ahead and take a look at your unofficial race results here from Darlington Raceway. We'll go back a little bit here as we're showing you guys practice results here earlier. Aaron Kovnat comes home victorious. Henry Kalhoff P2, and we talked to your top 3. Max Ford comes home 3rd. Trenton Wilkins, I think he, honestly, if he didn't have that damage, he probably would have came home with the podium. Trenton Wilkins will have to settle for a P4 finish. Kylan Wilson, he was caught up in a couple incidents too, and he really surprised me. He hasn't really shown top 3, top 5 pace, but tonight at Darlington really surprised me. A really good run for that 87. Jose Lopez, very quiet night for him. He rebounds to a top 6, another good points day for him. Silas Goodman in the 21. He comes on P7. Chase Smith, P8. Chase George. I don't even think he qualified tonight. Comes home P9. We didn't talk about the 6 at all, but a good top 10 finish for him. Tyler Helms comes back to finishes P10 after, getting caught up in those last couple of cautions there. Riley Ibanez, P12. Xander McKinney, a top 12 finish for him. A good recovery. He got caught up in 2, 3, 4 incidents there running in the back. He finishes P12. Calvin Harvey, back there in the 98, he'll finish P13. Travis Prather, 14th. And rounding out the top 15 will be DJ Lyon in that 78 machine. Brady Schreckengost in 16th. Joey Beck. I felt like he had a top 3, top 4 truck as well. Not going to get the finish he wants after, making some driver mistakes there late in the race there, getting loose and spinning and all that. He comes home P17. Carmelo Echeverria back that will finish 18th, the first car a lap down. Joseph Enright, 5 laps down. Patricia Casado, she got caught up in one of the big ones there. She'll finish out your top 20. Looking further back here, out early. Gavin Smith, 12 laps down, and you see everybody else out early. Jason Hall in the 71, Max Funderburk, Sebastian Perez, Kevin Belcher, Derek Turner, William Johnson, Carter McMillan, Jacob Bryant, Elliot Fortier, and rounding out the rest of the field tonight, Joshua Gilbert, JJ Morgan, Dorian Davis, Cameron Campbell, Wyatt Thompson, and Emerson Crawley round out your top 36. But obviously, like we said before, a very intense race, very chaotic race. Like we said, we had 36 show up tonight. We had 17 finish on the lead lap. So that's just, I believe that's well under actually. And actually, that's right under half of the field finishing on the lead lap. Obviously, I believe Carmelo finished the race out as well as Enright. I believe. I'm unsure of who actually no, we do know who made it to the finish here. So the top 21 actually finishes out there with Gavin Smith finishing 12 laps down. So Joseph Enright actually didn't make it there. He probably wrecked on that last green white checkered, I believe. But regardless, we saw lots of cautions within the double digits for sure tonight. And and I guess you could say it's unfortunate, especially for only a 70. Technically, it was supposed to be a 74 lap race. We did have to use that one overtime finish to bump it up to 78. But like I said, hopefully, I'm not going to say like it's up to the admins to fix the solution. Obviously, this is the lowest, I believe. This is the lowest now series that the UIS guys have here. So, and I'm not sure if there's a progression system here for this or if it's just kind of free for all. Whoever wants to run and what can. Obviously, you look at someone like Tyler Helms and Max Ford, Aaron Kovnat, and all those guys. They're running in Cup and they're coming down and running in trucks as well. But obviously, it's still a lot of wrecks, a lot of chaos here in the trucks. Hopefully, they can get it fixed throughout the season because it's definitely not as fun to call, a lot of races with a lot of cautions. Obviously, I'm going to show up and do what I need to. It's I'm happy to be partnered with the Send It Motors Truck Series here on the network to come in here and put on the best show we can for you. Another shout out to Frank DeAngelis for coming up here in the booth. Obviously, Gavin Austin could not make it for tonight's broadcast. So we appreciate Frank for coming up and being a part of that. And we move on to next week as we look forward into the next coming weeks here. I'm unsure of what is next week, but you guys will know when you see the title for next week, I guess, because I cannot find a schedule page for anything in here with the Discord. So, but once again, we thank everybody for coming out watching tonight's broadcast from the virtual Darlington Raceway here for week 8 of these UIS Motors Send It Truck Series. Another congratulations to Aaron Kovnat and all the KDR guys coming 1-2. Max Ford coming home P3, good point stay for him. But once again, my name is Christian Delgado with High Velocity TV, here the lead producer and commentator for tonight's race. Another shout out to Frank DeAngelis for hopping in here and giving me some company. But it's time to call it a night here from the Lady in Black, and we'll see you guys next week here on Mondays for some more UIS racing. But once again, we hope everybody has a great rest of your Monday night, and you've been watching a High Velocity TV production of the UIS Send It Motors Truck Series. Hope everybody has a great rest of the night, and we'll see you guys soon.